Is of course Gamer 1745 here, and we're going to be playing War in the East 2. We'll be setting up and starting an actual recording episode in just a moment here, but I just want to make sure the stream is working first before we go. Yes, it is. Good. Okay, that is working, and then I'm going to minimize this over here, but I will still be following the chat. So I have I'll get the chat, so if people chat at us, we'll know what's going on, and I'll repeat anything for you. But otherwise, generally speaking, if you would keep other hello, Seaman Dale. Good, already here. Keep other bandwidth usage down, Exergen, so that it won't interrupt things on your end. Okay? Yep. Okay, so I'm going to start recording an episode here, and I'll introduce us, and you can say hi and that kind of thing. Welcome, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745. I'm here with my good friend Exergen. Say hello, please.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
And we're going to start the grand campaign with War in the East 2. Exergen, I am touting as a bit of an expert. I think he said he had over 1,000 hours in War in the East 1. And so he is going to be the person who knows what's going on with the game and help us, you guys, learn how to play this better. We are going to see how far, not so much today, but over this series, how far we can get in. And we defeat the Soviets. At points, we'll be talking about historical points. Other elements, we'll be talking about game elements. This is the beginning of Barbarossa, June 22nd, 1941, as you can see up here. And Exergen is going to walk us through everything he thinks we need to do to get ready to start the Barbarossa campaign. So this is going to, in a way, be as much a long tutorial, especially to start, as it will be, fast, or, anything else playing the game. So what best to do at this point now, Exergen?
Well, that's a big introduction there. Set me up for massive failure. But yeah, so there's a lot of
the professionals, the Germans. Now I know Hitler interfered with it all, but the Germans failed too. So if we do at least as good as they did, we're doing okay. So don't take it as too much pressure. But if we lose, we lose. But so did the guys with the real professionals. With all that brain power behind them, they lost too. So let's see what we can do.
So I think it's worth saying there. I've done a bit of research about this game on from the developers and whatnot, and they are saying that it's the best AI they think they've ever seen. So it is going to be a difficult trudge right from the start. The computer is going to put up a fight. So I think that's worth us knowing that. What do we do first? I think the first thing to do is sort of orientate us with this top left there. So I think what we've got to do first is what I would call like a pre-planning phase. What are we going to do? So if you want to just sort of scroll out, there's a few things we can do. First of all, let's read the event on the top left there.
Okay.
That's it, yeah. And just tell us about...
On the 22nd of June, 1941, the invasion of the Soviet Union began, opening up the Eastern Front and committing Germany to a two-front war. The Axis powers offensive invading along a 290-kilometer front, however long that is, I don't understand, but that stretched from the Arctic Ocean in the north to the Black Sea in the south, saw the greatest invasion force ever known to mankind. Around 3.8 million men, supported by around 600,000 vehicles and 600,000 horses. At the start of the invasion, 80% available Soviet military forces in the West had been deployed on the border that faced Axis territories as the first strategic echelon. Deployment of the remaining 20% along the Dneva and Dnieper rivers as the second echelon, meant to serve as a spearhead to the Soviet counteroffensive in case of a German invasion. At the time of the invasion, the Red Army was in the process of reorganizing and modernization its capability. Because, a commentary for myself, reorganizing primarily because they had shot all of their leading elements, command elements in the various show trials and scared the hell out of the rest with commissars, and really effed up in the invasion of Finland so bad. So they were finally trying to redress some of the craziness that they had done. But okay, continuing. And that will be a hallmark of our series, that we will be commenting on historical elements while we do this game, just for those watching out there.
It's the bad guys against the bad guys, isn't it, Gamer?
Yeah, I hate communists worse than I hate Nazis. Nazis are still evil. It's just some evil is more evil than other evil. It's just the way I look at it. And so, yes, I have a vehement anti-communist belief in my bones, if you will. That does not believe or mean that I think Nazism is acceptable, and that also doesn't mean that the average soldier on either the Eastern or on the Soviet side or on the German side, they themselves are evil, because they're often caught up in all of this. And yes, some of them may believe an evil ideology at the time, just because it's what they were taught, either in the Soviet Union or in Nazi Germany, and they just believed it true. But the average person, and even the many average commanders on both sides, may not be evil, but it is the bad guys versus the bad guys. So that's commentary. So if you ever hear, me slamming the communists and talking about how I do think, again, this is commentary here, the Nazis were more effectively organizing their society. That doesn't make them good guys. It just makes them less incapable. Communism is not only evil, it is a bad political economic organization. Okay, let's continue here. Its capabilities were greatly reduced from so they're even doing the purges of the 30s, strongly affecting the quality of the officer corps. Moreover, the standing and morale of the Red Army had been shaken as a result of the Winter War in Finland. On the other hand, the successful campaigns that had brought Europe to its knees, the German Wehrmacht consolidated itself as an experienced army with good training, organization, and excellent officer corps. The titanic struggle between the two major powers and their conflicting ideologies has begun, and it will only end when one of them has been completely destroyed. So that is our situation report here.
Yeah. So that's the first thing we've got to do. We've got to get in a bit of habit as that, but as well, every turn when that pops up. The second thing is, if we go to info screens along the top there,
right,
second tab along, that's the one. On here now, we're going to have a series of reports, if you like, after each turn. And the ones to get in the habit of looking at is probably the first one, top left. Yep, so that shows us what's been going on, where we are at the moment. So we got 4.8 million men, that's everybody, including our allies, I think. And then I think that's everybody. Or it might.
No, I think that's reserve.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, so
sure,
there's
because math doesn't work out either way.
Yeah, and then you've got the Russians down the bottom, then down there, 3.5 million. And then it's got on the left-hand side how we're roughly organised by higher command all the way down. You can open them up and draw all the way down if you want, but it's worth looking at now just to give us a bit of orientation of where we are. So a lot of people who are new to this type of war game will go, hang on a minute, this is lots of information. Yes, it is, and it's worth just spending some time when you first play to understand some of these screens, because everything is here. This game is detailed down to the single man in his rifle. So all the stats are there, and all the battles are fought, working out the different statistics of this guy is 10 times better than that guy, so therefore that's a 10-1, and then they do other weather and things like that to affect the combat results, and they go from there. And that's all then stacked up to this higher level. So we've got 2.9 million men, 27 rocket. That's fine. So if you then go to the next one along, which is the losses tab, yeah, that's it.
Right,
so every turn, we'll see what we've lost and what they've lost. And we want to, in this first year, so to the end of 1941, we really want to destroy as many units and as many men as we can. And destroy is the knack. We don't want them to run away, because if they run away, they come back. So we want to get rid of them forever. So that's one of why we've got to keep coming back to this screen to give us an understanding how we're getting on. So that's this one. And then I think the final one, just to touch upon
before we move on.
Yep.
one of the things I was pointed out about, and I don't know if it holds true in the last version, but with this, they say that if you create large pockets and destroy the forces inside of them, that is an area that will spring up with partisans.
So So I don't believe that to be true. I think the statement would be better if the whole of Russia will spring up with partisans.
Okay, well, that very
So
well may be the case, but that's what somebody was saying, so I don't know. Okay, so then
so
the next one is production here is where
yep.
you.
So production is a bit simpler. It simply tells us how many we're producing and what's in our pool, our reserve pool. So the 1, 2, third column along is how much is
Pool,
spare. Yeah.
right?
It's worth keeping tabs on that, but that does get produced automatically, so we don't have to worry about making any of that stuff.
Okay,
And
good to know.
it will also automatically upgrade a unit. So if you want to replace the Panzer III with a Panther, that will automatically happen over time.
Good to
So
know.
that's good, just to sort of let us know if we're running short on something or not.
Now, what happens when you say upgrade from a Panzer III to a Panther? What happens to the old Panther III?
So the game
Do
will
we know?
model the game will model the reuse of them to marauders in some instances, and in
Okay,
other instances they will just become obsolete. Now, what you can do is you can go into some units and say don't upgrade, stick with the older stuff. But that's getting quite down into the deeps. You don't have to do that if you don't want to.
right. I just wondered if it just went back to the pool that would then fill other losses if needed or something. I didn't know. Okay,
Yeah, it will do that as well. The next one to for us before we move on from this screen is probably the weather one, which is the end one on that block there, gamer. Next one, oh,
weather, yes.
W, that's the one. Yeah.
Hmm.
So why we need to pay attention to this is because now this game has got a dynamic weather system. So this weather system here will show us the fronts that are happening in a circle and the different zones and what current climates they've got at the moment going on. So we can see here at the moment we're all clear just about across the whole
Hmm.
front, but I think that's a rainy thing in that. That's a good explanation of the purple circle there.
Right.
A rainy thing, but that's a front
Yeah.
that's a front that's going to move, and as it moves, if it moves into Russia, it is going to rain, and if it rains we will get mud, which means we slow down.
Right. I just noticed this
Okay.
road system here is very interesting. Button
Yes, and
to
that's
see.
also on the map as well. We can put that on the map as well if we want to.
Right. Yes. We can see that there to see quality of roads. Right. Okay. Very good. So we have good
So
weather with
that's
some rain coming.
Yeah, so that gives us an orientation, right? So that's really just an orientation. Now, the first major phase is what they call the air planning phase.
Hmm.
So we have got three major Luftwaffes. Or I'm going to say this wrong all the time for anybody who speaks German. I can't speak German, so I'm just going to say my funny language that makes up these things. In my head, the Luftflotte at the top there. We've got
Okay.
1, 2,
Two.
and 4 at the bottom. I assume number 3 was on the Western Front. Hence the
Or
reason why
this,
it goes 1, 2, and 4.
or North Africa, maybe one of the two or
Maybe,
something.
maybe.
The
So
Kessel Ring, I'm
we've got
guessing,
one,
but I don't know.
we've got 1, 2, and 4. We'll probably just refer to them as north, centre, and south, just to keep us in
Sure.
check. Underneath each one, we have
Hmm.
got a series of sub HQ and what they're calling AOGs, air operating groups. And when you click on one, yeah, that one there, that's a lower HQ. It opens up a box and it tells you all the different AOGs underneath it. You can see KG-77 there. And then in the dark blue, all of the air bases that are currently being used by all those units under it.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. So
Right.
what we have to do with those sets of boxes is orientate ourselves to find out what's under each one, which we'll do in a second. But then when we've done that, we then have to set priorities about what they do and then set the missions. Now, we don't have to set all the missions if we don't want to. We could click on the AI, which is in the center at the top with an A. It's got AI in the center at the top with a little airplane. And if we click on that, the computer would
Hmm.
run all the missions for us. But we'd still have to set some priorities for the units.
Oh, here, right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there it is. That's it.
Right.
Yeah. So it says there, activate it. If we activate it, the computer will do it. But before we do that, if you just click out onto
Click out what?
The C for me game and left click on the C, and then
Okay.
click
Yeah,
on the
you
floater
broke
one,
up a
which will
little
be
bit there. Please
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. So if you just click out on the C, left click on the C somewhere for
Okay,
me.
let's see. Right.
Yeah, if you click back on loft floater one for me.
Sure.
So there you go. This is everybody in the north, and you can see here underneath the writing we've got 138 fighters, 211 bombers and tactical and strategic bombers, 162 utility craft. Utility craft are recon and transport, and I think it might include strategic bombing. I'm not sure, but that's all the utility craft, and we can work out what they are if you want. If you click on that again, but no, I didn't do it. How do I?
Okay, I'm trying to.
Yeah, if you click off the turn summary for me on the right hand side, there should be underneath the on the right hand side.
Here.
That's it. Click on that.
Okay,
There
there
we
we are.
go.
Yes.
Right, there you go. It gives us a list of all the different units underneath now, which is the easiest way to do it. So
And JU
let's
88s and whatnot. BF and
so
109s.
if we start at the top with a little counter 511 666 at the top there, that tells
Right.
us how many aircraft we've got and how many we could have.
Okay.
It gives us a name at the top and the structure that it reports to. Obviously, it reports to itself because there's nobody above it. Then underneath it, we've got a little button that you can click. It says ring zone, and it'll tell you how far each of the aircraft could fly, and it'll put it on the map if you want it to. Then underneath
Okay.
that, we've got another button that says hold at the moment.
Okay, oh, ring circles here. Okay, there we go. Just want to show everybody. And hold. What did you say about hold?
Yeah, if you click on it, it gives
Right.
us an options, I think.
Okay,
Yeah, so now
flexible,
we
hold,
can.
retreat, advance.
What that means is, right, so let's start with hold. Hold means they would stay, all of those under left flutter one would stay where they are now. Flexible would mean that as we advance, they might follow some of the HQs, but it will dictate how it thinks best to do that. So it won't all charge forward, they'll go forward as and when they need to. Actually physically move air bases is what I
Right.
mean. Retreat would mean go back, and advance would mean go forward. So they would literally go right up to the new front line as we create it.
Okay.
There's a split there. Flexible and hold happens first before we move all our units, whereas retreat and advance happens after we've moved our units. So that's worth
Right.
knowing, because if we've got some air units on air supply, then they would be moving after they've used all their hours up, so they then wouldn't be able to move. So there's some understanding there of the turn sequence that will happen in. So let's leave it on
Right.
hold for now.
Okay.
Then on the right hand side to that, you've got min max mission,
Right.
you've got normal, you've got asset priority, and you've got supply priority. So let's start with asset priority and supply priority. What do they mean? Asset priority means there's 3 loft flotters. How
Okay.
important compared to the others is this at getting new aircraft?
Okay.
So if
Very
we leave
important
this
to
on
know.
2, so if we leave this on 2, then the other Luftflotters, if they're on 3, they'll get more aircraft and they'll suck aircraft out of the north. If
Right.
they're on 1, they'll be given to the north. And if we put them on 2 as well,
I know you're interrupting, but you said suck aircraft out of the north. Would it actually move them out of the north, or would it just
yes,
not prioritize replacements?
yes, it will take them out of the north as well.
Okay. Okay.
Not all in one go, but bit by
Right.
bit by bit.
Okay.
But if we leave them the same, which we're going to do, it
Right.
will distribute only the reserve aircraft we've got equally among the 3.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we leave that on 2.
Sure.
Supply priority is the same, but with supplies.
Right. So we'll
Okay,
leave it
so we're
on
going to
3, I
leave.
guess. Or
Leave it on
whatever.
3 as long as if everyone's on 3, and obviously supply would matter with all of our units, including the ground units. So if we have that really set to 4, it will be taking supply from some of the ground. You can also tell Luftwaffe to follow a specific army. So if you look under hold, it's got FHQ.
Right.
which means probably follow HQ. At the moment, that's following the dark purple Northern Army, which we can just see it stuck under some of the blue things on the map.
Right.
So at the moment, it is. At the moment, it's going to follow that purple counters block at the top there as we move forward. If we put it on flexible advance, at the moment we got on hold, so it won't follow. But if we put it on flexible, it would follow the 18th Army. And then finally, naval ops. If we wanted to do any naval interdiction, bomb some Russian ships that were out there maybe, then we could put that on. So that explains the counter. That's quite a lot, gamer.
Sure,
Hopefully
yes.
that all made sense.
Oh, it does. Whether I'll remember it all a week from now or not is another question, but it all makes sense as you're explaining it.
Yeah, well, we can go over it again another time when we get into it.
Yeah. Well, as you start playing it, I'm sure I'll pick all this stuff up.
So, gamer, let's pick something now. Could you find the JG54 on the map for me, which is a smaller blue counter?
Yeah.
It's just up there under Rattenberg. Rattenberg. Geez, Germans will be not happy with me.
Yes, JG.
That one there.
Yes, got it.
Click, and then on the right-hand side, you want to click on one of the little subunits, which are all the swarms in this fighter group. On the right-hand side, in the toolbar.
Right, okay, so like here.
Anyone will do.
Yeah.
Yep. Now this brings up a unit card, if you like. So this is telling us what's in this group of fighters of 33. So we should now see we've got the name of the unit at the top, the type of aircraft they're firing, what role they're performing, and what type of nation they are. So they're German SE fighters. A little symbol for them, unit card, unit. I guess that's what their flag or unit representation from the real life used to be. And then the aircraft, it tells us all the stats about what the aircraft can do, and it can tell us what the aircraft weapons and they've got. And if you click on loadout quickly, we're going to do one thing that I've been watching another guy. I learned literally yesterday. We could actually add in one of those three things there, gamer. So we could add in bombs, two different types, or we could add in a drop tank. Do you want to select the drop tank? Because that means we'll go further on first turn.
Right. So we have selected loadout,
click on the
300 liter drop tank.
Yeah, you've done it. Yep, sit. Close that down. There you go. It's been added under loadout. Oh. Just repeat that again.
Let's then come back under.
It's on the right-hand side. Just click on the same subunit under.
There we go. Okay, we're back.
The bottom there. Down. The easiest way is just to click on it. Yeah, you've got it. There you go. So that will make us fly further because we've got that loadout on. It makes us less efficient to start with, but this first turn we want to bomb a lot of people, so we need fighter escorts to do that. Hence the reason we've got that on, so they can fly further.
Okay.
We've got information about pilots and then other planes as well.
Pilots, wow. They've done some research if they're halfway. Yep. And
well, I don't know if they were all the real names of the pilots, but I guess that everything else is so accurate they might well be.
Right. And so that very good. Okay.
So let's do something now then. So let's should we set up a directive or something?
What? Yeah, you walk me through all the steps. Do we need to do the loadout for more aircraft to the drop tanks, or?
No, I think because we selected this type of aircraft, which is a BF 109 F2. It's no, it hasn't done it.
Apparently not.
There you go, learned something. Yeah, you would have to do it for every single one.
Okay, so we need to do this. Okay. So let's.
So if you start at the top, stab. You've done that one, okay.
Now that would be an interesting thing if maybe we do that for the stab. Okay, which of course is the HQ. Let's close this down and I haven't done this one yet. No, oh no, this is the one we did do. Okay, we do this one. Nope. Okay, so we not only we have to do it for all.
Yep.
Okay,
I'll have to do a bit of research to see if there's a way to do that.
there might be, but okay. So everything now in JG 54 has um, drop tanks on it.
So let's set up an order, or what they're calling an air directive, for this whole
Okay,
group. So if you wanna click back out again and go to the air flotter one and click on that to do it. So just click on the C. There you go. Yeah.
right.
If we then click at the top there, along the top toolbar, it's got a little plane just underneath there. If you if you hollow, this is the different type of air directives.
Right.
So that's none.
Right. Ground support, ground attack air directive, strategic bombing, air reconnaissance, air superiority, naval patrol, and
Show battle.
show battle sites.
So let's do the. I think it's air attack we want, which is the one bombing airfields. So the second one along, yeah, that one there,
Yeah,
yeah.
right there.
If you click on that, so now what it's done is it's set up for us on the right hand side a little box now, and it says all the different current air directives that are on. So at the moment, preset for us was 2 recon missions, a ground attack mission, and a ground support mission. And
Right.
now, because we've clicked on the button, it's allows us to potentially create a new one. So let's go ahead and do that. If you click on that ground attack that you're on over now, that's it. Now, if you select somewhere on the map,
Well, I see a
overload of
bunch
it.
of green
Oh,
airfields here, but
that's it. Yeah, click on that green airfield.
does
That'll
it
be
have to
fine.
be within this box, or can it be?
You click on that green. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. There you
Okay.
go. So now it's given us a flight path, and it's
Mm-hmm.
given us a location that it's going to attack. On the right hand side now, it's given us a load of other options that we can amend. So we're going to bomb airfield. So you see on the right hand side it says target priorities. Could you put
Right.
airfield at the top? So in the fourth column. Just click right. So
Okay.
we're going to bomb airfields. Can you put interdeck down to the bottom? We're not going to do that right now.
Right.
We're just going to bomb airfields. Just keep it simple for now.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the left hand side, we've got a load of little options that we can select here. So we can, at the top one says target hex number. We don't need to alter that because we did it on the map already. Staging base was selected automatically from us, so we'll just let the computer have decided that. Area. So if you click on area for me, that currently says 0.
Right.
Yep. And let's pick 10, the biggest area we can. Bang. There's a big box now. So what
Right.
we've said now to this Luftwaffe is that anyone under your command, I want you to bomb anything you can inside that big box that's appeared.
Okay. Great. That
Anything in
is
anything in green, it's got fighter escort, and anything in purple, the bombers won't have fighter escort. Now, because we put those drop tanks on, you can see 90% of it is covered.
Mm-hmm.
If we hadn't put them on, it would only probably be about 50%. So
Yes.
that,
The 109 was a short range aircraft.
yeah. So now we've got a few more options. We can tell it, do we want to fly day and night? Back to the right hand side. It then tells us, do we want to do medium, low, high intensity? So let's change that to high intensity. Day one, let's try and
Okay.
min max what we can. So
Right.
if you want to, yes, it, yeah. Fly in any condition better than poor weather. So we know it's clear, so that's fine. We're going to fly. That's why we need to look at weather. See, schedule. What days of the week do we want to fly? So this game takes into account things like attrition and morale and fatigue. So we don't want to fly every single day. We want to fly quite a lot. So this is kind of up to you and up to you really, game. I mean, at the moment it's given us 5 days of a 7-day week. If you feel that's okay, let's run with it.
Yeah. Sounds good with me.
And we'll see what happens, because I've seen
Yeah.
that even other players that are experienced on YouTube at the moment haven't quite nailed this. So it's a bit of free fall until somebody works out the min max value here. So let's
Well,
just run with it.
I could see. I don't know how much. I'm going to probably butcher this. Prevatin is modeled in the game, the Nazi speed drug. But I could see like the first sort of week or so maxing this out every day, and then presumably destroying most of the Air Force, and then going to the opposite of just flying maybe 3 days out of the 5 for a couple of weeks. So I could see somebody going in and really sort of detail and doing that. But I think this is just fine to start it out and get it going.
Brilliant.
Yes,
The one
Martin,
underneath
that's
that,
right.
the one underneath that is already set for us. So it says the computer's done it. It says it's auto and 180 missions. Okay,
Right.
so 180 sorties, sorry, are going to be run by Luftwaffe 1 to bomb in that big square. So we're happy with that. We
Right.
could make it more if we wanted to, but we'll leave it at that. And then it's got altitude here, 9,000. Now I've been trying to read before I started, literally today. Apparently, Russian flak is really effective up to 10,000 meters. So should we just up that to something like 12 or 13? There you
Okay,
go. Yeah.
12.
So that just means we're just flying slightly above the flak. So hopefully we get less operational losses.
Sure.
The priority is very high. So what we're saying is Luftwaffe 1, out of all of your directives at the top there's 5 at the moment. This one is most important. Okay, so it's going to do this one first, hopefully.
Right.
Then we've got right. So this is escorts. So the minimum number of fighter planes we want it to fly with this 180 sorties. So at the moment it's saying none. So we need to put 1 in there, I think, just so there is a fighter that goes up with every sortie, one above.
So this would be here.
Yeah,
Minimum
1.
number of planes. Okay, minimum number of planes in a strike.
Oh, that's in our strike. So let's say 10.
Okay. 10, and then
The minimum we want 1 in
number
there.
of escort 1. Okay.
Okay,
So
we're going to have 10 bombers, 1 fighter.
right.
That's a bare minimum. Okay, so if there's less than that, the computer AI won't run the missions. It will just leave it. But we've got all these guys fresh, so there's going to be tons of missions run. So the last thing we need to do now, we've set all of our conditions for this to run. We just need to press that confirm button just higher up in red. That's it, and say yes. Now we have to bear in mind,
Breaking up here.
gamer, if we hadn't have done that and we clicked off this, we'd have lost all of that.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So that is how you set up an air directive. So
Right.
quite simply, that is how you tell the AI to do stuff. So if you just want to now click on all the loft flotters for me, one by one by one.
Okay, let's float to 2.
And then
So
click
we
on
need to
the...
come up here.
Didn't do it. Try again.
There
There you go.
we go.
So
So we want to do...
it's already got 5 set up. So I reckon we just leave that with the 5 that it's got set up.
ground attack. Okay.
What do you reckon? I think we should just leave that with the 5 that I've already been by the game on day 1 and run with that.
Right. What I'm wondering is, well, do we need to extend fighter coverage by more drop tanks or whatnot?
We could do. So if we go and find JG27 there. On the... There it is.
Okay.
Oh no, you'll probably have to click it on the map.
Yeah, I'm zooming in to hopefully it centers it better. No, okay.
Yeah, try clicking that. There we go. 4th one down, 5th one down.
There we go. JG27. 109. Okay, nope, I clicked something wrong. Okay.
Oh, I think I know why. I think you might have to select the top button, F1.
F1. There we go.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay, so we got to come in here, load out drop tanks. Good. And that one's done. Load out drop tanks.
before you click off, there's one more you just check for me on that list of fighter groups. Try the third one down. No, not that one.
The third one, okay.
One,
This
two.
one here?
That one there, yeah. Yeah, I thought so.
There we go. Okay. So we get the bottom.
Yeah, you did that one.
Yes. Okay.
And I'll read tonight if there's a way to do that all in one go. I'm sure there is. If you want to scroll down for me, I think there's another fighter group in Luftflotte 2. So you have to click on the yes. There it is, JG53. Out in the middle of Russia for some reason. The tab is.
Okay. Yep. I wasn't even looking out there. Okay. So.
So this is just to minimize our losses from the Russian fighters that scramble after day one.
Absolutely.
Because the Russians have got obsolete aircraft. I think there's a lot of wooden stuff out there at the moment. Literally, there's some wooden airplanes floating about out there. So wasting our good aircraft bombing and getting rid of them isn't any good if we lose a load of bombers doing it.
No. And I think now is before we get, shall we say, competitive aircraft operating against us. Now's the time to make our fighters not work quite as well.
There it is, JG3 under the finger corps box.
JG3, there we go. Okay. Because like I think you said that aircraft with drop tanks don't fly quite as well.
No, they don't. You'll notice that when you do the next one, if you just stop before you click on that's it, it's fine. If you go back to the next one, the next group.
Right, yeah.
So if you just stop there for a second. So where does it say? Max speed 389,
right.
Cruise speed 305. Put the drop tank on and see what happens to that. Yeah, it's dropped a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So there you go. So there's some changes that the game will model in.
There we go. I think that's all of them now.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So we have, and so
4 clicks, four swarms. That makes sense. There's
right.
one more at the bottom in Romania, I think. There it is, 77, right at the top.
Yep.
With that fighter list, could you click on the second one down again? The one that's got a thing in brackets. That one there. Yep. Why is that different?
Could it be a different 109?
Yeah, it's a E/7. That's fine. I just was making sure that it wasn't a bomber, because this is a fighter bomber. There are some that are rowed as bombers and not fighters. So I was just double checking. Yeah, so that's fine. Sorry. That's it. I think we've done all of them.
What is Lorg saying? So you don't have to do that by one by one. After you choose loadout middle section. Okay, well let's take a quick look. What is he saying here? Loadout. Okay, selected drop to. Okay, here it is. Selected loadout. Apply to all E7s and Luftflotte 4, apply to all E7s and Axis Air Force. So we could
bang the bottom one.
Yeah.
Smack that bottom.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh well,
So
you live and learn, gamer, don't you?
absolutely. Thanks, Lord.
Definitely, thank you. I knew there was a way. I saw someone else doing it because we're moving so quick. You can't always pick it up.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. Thanks for getting my attention. Because I'm not closely, as you can tell, because we got a lot to do here, not closely paying attention to the chat. But please do chat at us.
So
Okay.
what we've done there is we've given a quick run through of all the air command structure, how we
Mhm.
change and fiddle around with individual units, how we set up an air directive, and we could do lots of different air directives like recon, air superiority, and I've seen some people do lots of different types, but I think that actually, we're both, as everybody is getting used to the game, actually turn one, there's some stuff set up. There's a reason that it was in the game. The developers wouldn't put it in there if it was complete rubbish. That we should just
Right.
roll with that. you know.
Okay. Right.
So I think that when we're ready, I think that when we hit F12, this will all run. So F12 is in the top right-hand
Right.
corner.
Yes. So do you think we're ready for that now,
There's a
or
button. All these air
yeah?
directives will run. Well, I'm just before you do that, I was just going to ask you the same question. Do you want to do that now? Or is there any more questions you want me to answer? Is there any questions
Well,
on the chat
you
that
you,
need
you think
answering before we?
yeah? Okay. Well, okay. Anything from the chat, we can do this. Yes, it is a complicated game, Scooter. This is because I know a bunch of you were just on with me a short while ago with War Plan Pacific. This game is a great, detailed, complicated game, but you don't always want to play this. So it depends on what and how you feel like playing. And I do want to play through this campaign, and Exertion here is really going to help do this. What's the level of micromanagement that can be outsourced to the AI? Van Bishop asks.
So that's a good question. What we could have done is we could have not looked at any of that. We could have literally just gone on to the top Luftwaffe tabs, which is currently in the box on the right-hand side, top right, where it says Luftwaffe 4. And we could literally just set our priorities, asset priority, supply priority, and hold or advance, whether it's going to go forward or stay where it is, or retreat. There's another option in there for retreat. We could just fiddle those three boxes for the three different Luftwaffes we've got, which would then apply to all of the commands underneath it and all the air groups underneath it, and then hit the F12 button and walk away,
Okay.
because it's all in there. And at the beginning of the game, when you load up the options, there's the AI assist, which is the button in the top middle on the toolbar, gamer. If we hit that, that would then the one next to it on the right hand side, that's it. If we hit that, it would then automatically put all the missions in for you, so you wouldn't have to do any of that fiddling around. You could just walk away from it if you wanted by just sorting out your priorities at the top level and then letting the computer work out all the missions and how to run them all. But I wanted to give a flavour of how you do them, so we all have an understanding of how we can learn as we move forward. Did that make sense?
No, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
hit that button for me now. So let's push that AI assist down. Yep. Oh,
This
yeah,
one here?
yeah. Push that down. So just to make, yeah. And the reason
Okay.
I've done that, yeah. Let's do that. The reason I've done that is to make sure all of those air command directives now run. And then
Right.
if you press F12, they should run.
Okay.
That's it.
Execute air directives, yes. We're seeing them all zip
So
around the
now what's
battlefield.
happening? I don't know what mesh. Yeah, it's gonna, and there you go. It's counting up all the different sorties we've done, how many losses we've had, and the same for the Russians in the bottom right-hand corner. It's going really fast because we've got message level set to 1. You can operate and change that gamer by the numbers on your keypad. Don't do it, because if you press 8, it will take forever. It will give you all the detail about every single battle that's happening. But 1 or 2 is normally right. I think we're on 1 at the moment. So if you wanted to slow it down, you can press 2.
No, this is okay. We have an overwhelming amount, so I just sort of want to give everybody a feel which we are of the activity levels.
So at the moment, I think we're doing all right. 300 aircraft is quite a lot to lose, but given that the AI is doing everything.
Well, if this is correct, they've lost 2,600 aircraft. I take 300 versus 2,600. Just about any time.
Yep, we're nearly there, nearly finished.
Okay.
And this gives
So
us
now,
an overview of what's happened.
right. The
So
various.
if we look at the top block, Luftwaffe 1,
Mhm. Keller's running it.
the bottom mission, ground attack, that's the one that we
Right.
okay, and then it tells us all the stats about what happened there.
So sorties, loss, damage. Okay.
So, and then you click on that, it would give a detail about all of the different things underneath it. There you go. It would tell you all the different raids, and you can click on any of them you like, and it will tell you all about it. There you go.
There's Keller. Airfield was bombed. Right. Aircraft on the ground types. Okay, very good, very interesting. So hopefully, because we want to devastate the Air Force early on.
Yep. So that's all that done. So now
Right.
I think we're into when you click off that screen, I think it might click off the try clicking on the map info, top toolbar, top tab, up one.
Info.
Yeah.
Move mode. Do we want to go to?
Yeah, try move mode. See what happens with move mode.
Mm.
Yes, I think that's it. You click on the map now. Click on the. No, it's still.
No.
There you go.
Well, it's still giving us this weird box.
Yeah, we're in some sort of reporting mode, and I don't know how to get out of that.
Let's try that. Escape. That did it. Okay, we're out of that reporting mode.
Cool.
Okay.
So now we're on the ground war now, right, gamer? Now we're into the juicy stuff. So up to you. We can do anything here really you want to do, but shall I just explain some basic stuff again?
Certainly.
We've got some counters on the map. That's obvious. We can see that.
Right.
We've got them coloured. Each coloured group is basically an army.
Right.
So you've got the dark purple. That's an army, and in that army, it's got a lot of corps and divisions.
And there's the 18th Army here with the 4 X's.
And the First Corps. So the 18th Army and the First Corps are both in there.
Right. Yeah. And similarly, here's the 4th Panzer Group, which is similar to an army for the Germans.
Yep. And then you've got loads of divisions. They're coloured, so you can understand the organisation for that command structure. So army, then corps, then division going down. And then the white ones are assigned to a higher command. So above the armies is either Army Group Centre, North, or South. Is that yeah?
So
and then above them,
that's
OKH.
That's OKH, and there's it looks like L Corps is white here.
Yeah, so that means it's reporting direct. Yeah, it's reporting directly to Army Group North for some reason. That's historical apparently. So that's fine.
Army Group North. Okay, so there's Army Group North. There's OKH, which is head of the army, which is above Army Group North. OKW was running the Western Front.
And I think that's even on the map as well. I think it's somewhere near Berlin.
Very well could be at this point. It doesn't look like it. Oh, I'm not going to want to move out here. But let's see. Yeah, don't know where OKW is. But it's a weird command structure where it's sort of above and below OKH, and it's very odd. Okay, so let's continue.
Right. So what we then do is with each counter, you've got an attack value and a movement value.
Right.
So that one there can
23,
attack
16.
23 is the
Right.
movement, yeah. So the 23 is a combination, is what they call a raw combat value. So that is before any modifiers being applied to it. So that division and all of its table of contents and men in and tanks and guns inside it add up to 23 point something. And we only see the rounded down number on the counter just to give us a rough indication of what it is. And then the 16 is how much we can move based upon the supplies we've got. And then all that detail is underneath it, gamers.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see there, we've got 130% supplies of, and I don't know which order they're in. I think that's ammunition at the bottom, supplies in the middle, and one of them is fuel. I think that must be the top one. Oh, no, fuel's in the middle, supplies at the
Yeah,
top.
fuel will be in the middle, supplies must be the top.
Yeah, so we've got more than what we need, and therefore that's why we can move 16 at the moment. Right. And it applies to the same with the vehicles or the armor and the motorized as it does with the infantry. The difference is on the Russian counters, I think that they are attack and defend values. So they can attack one and defend one for those fortress brigades along the front there at the moment. So they don't have a movement value. That's fine because we don't really care how far they can move. We just want to know how good they are to beat up. So that's fine. So now, knowing that information, we can now proceed with an attack. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and make a bit of a pocket now, gamer. So you see those good units right where you're hovering over now. There's a couple of good units on the front there, isn't there? In front of those pink ones. You got 1 and 11 there, right? Two of them in front next to each other. So there's 2 Russian brigades on the front. They've both got a defensive 11. Do you see them?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna ignore them because they're going to be quite chunky. So we're just going to drive around them. That's what we're going to do. We're going to isolate them and cut them off from supply for next turn, and then we'll get rid of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to punch north and punch further south and come around, yeah, and make a bit of a pocket. That's what our little target is. So let's start with the purple ones first. Let's start with the guy that guy there. He is the 1st Infantry Division of the 1st Corps. What a good place to start, gamer. That's good. Why don't you now do a left click, which is a hasty attack. You could do shift and left click would be a full attack. We're just going to do a hasty attack now. That fortress brigade to the north.
And you can see as I'm hovering over it for everybody to see, you can see the attack CV says 14 and the defense CV is 2.7. So it gives you sort of a relative strength of attack versus defense for everybody. Just so that and we can come up over here and hover over here. It's 14 to 4. Up here, it's 14 to 0.1. Just so everybody can see the relative attacks. And you can attack, if it's a deliberate attack, you can attack with 2 units. And so here would be 56 versus 2.7, which is way overkill. We don't need to waste our time as on that. So like you say.
So this infantry division here that you're on now, gamer, I reckon we don't move with him. What we're going to try and do is shift all
3 of these.
3 units next to us.
Right.
So to start there.
Okay, so we're going to fire it, hit there. Okay, they retreated back to here.
Bang. Yeah, so they surrendered and routed. So one is gone forever and one is run away.
Okay, and then we'll hit here.
Another surrendered and retreated. Now it's only the battalion that's just surrendering, so they're a support unit. They're not really on the map at the moment. They're just like huge options, and that's why they're surrendering so quickly. And there's another one gone. That's good. So what we can do now you've shifted all them. Before you move on to the next unit, you've still got 13 movement points there. So I reckon if you move, before you move, do you see there's a little? If you move back, do you see there's a little 1 there in a little circle?
Right.
So if you move your mouse, that means there's been.
You're breaking up badly again, so please say again.
So much fighting in that square is going to cost 1 extra. So I reckon you move up and to the left and avoid that one by just
clicking here.
Yeah, click up to there. Yeah. And then do the same again. Let's knock out those 2 units there.
Fortress Battalion surrendered. And
we're going to do him to exhaustion, I think. Same again, gamer. Move forward and have those 2 fortress brigades in front of it again. So up to the left. Yeah,
oh, well, we went up to the right.
That guy.
But, oh, well.
Yeah, and again. Take them both out. We're taking them out for dinner. We're going to go down to the Italian and we're going to take them out for spaghetti.
Yeah, that sounds good. Don't talk too much about food. You'll want to make me quit and go eat.
Now he's only got 4 movement left, so just before you move him again.
Or do we want to, or are we going to exhaust them more by moving?
Yes. Yeah, you're right. You're spot on. This game has got something called combat readiness points. Now, if you go back to the quick tab, do you see the cross swords is now at 0? On the tab on the right hand side, underneath ready.
Ready, right? Yes.
Yeah, it started off with 100 and now it's at 0. So we fought so much. We fought this unit in this turn to a standstill. So I reckon we just leave him where he is.
Okay.
Okay, and we let his movement 4 of 4 add back into that 0 next turn towards 100 again. So we just give him a bit of a rest.
Right.
So I would say now the next thing to do is take that infantry unit right at the top there that says 1316. So it's on the same. That's it.
Yes.
Knock out those 2 units. Start with a fortress brigade. Let's get rid of that fortress. Yep. Quick attack. Just get rid of it. Gone. And then because that guy's got a defense of 7, do a deliberate attack, gamer. Shift and click.
Right.
That's
okay.
It.
Yeah. 21 versus 7. Is that?
Yeah, we'll go for it. 21 versus 7. Day 1. They're not expecting us to attack. There you go. See, legged it. But it did leave us with a bit of a problem in that HQ. So what we've got to do now is form a pocket. So we have to think about our movement. So I would move north here because you've got a zone of control. You know what a zone of control is, game, isn't it? So every hex around each division is basically controlled by us.
Right.
So it makes it harder for anyone to move through it. But to actually control the square, you've got to move into it. So you can see that's why 9.4 hasn't got a zone of control all the way around it. It has, but one of them's still owned by Russians. So what you're going to do there is if you move that guy, there, move him there. No,
so here, or right or left?
There, left. Left. That's it. And the reason we did that is what we're trying to do is form a pocket. Okay. So another guy can now come here and stand in Kretalinga. Is that how you say that? Goodness me. Take another unit, the 2416. Yeah, move him up to the left-hand side there, Kretalinga, on the coast.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to go up the coast with him. Go again, one more. Go on, one more. Knock out that security brigade. Yeah, get rid of it. Now, how many we got left? 8 and 47. You can move You can move next to the town if you want. Do you want to move next to the port? It's up to you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Put a little pressure on
them. Before we do anything else with that guy, we've got one more infantry unit under the HQ that we've currently got highlighted. No, under there.
Well, actually, we have 2 more, I think. Oh no, this is under different. Okay, core. Yeah, so we got this one here.
You can.
Right.
Yes, you got it. If you move that 61st Infantry Division and knock out that 1-1, move next to it on the left-hand side. Yeah, there.
Okay.
Right. Now we can move up and try and make a chain. So we're trying to make a chain here of infantry divisions.
Okay, so follow the railroad up is what you're suggesting, or?
Yeah, up to. So to where it says 10 at them. That's it. Yeah, down one.
Here.
Yes. So what we've done there is, do you see the chain?
Right.
infantry division space.
Right. Yeah. Right along here.
Yeah. So we're forming a chain there. That gives us a front. Okay, so we're done there. We could do more. If we wanted to be really zealous, we could push on all of the infantry divisions until they're knackered. But actually, that might not serve us well for next turn. So we're just going to do that there. So let's go back to the rest of this army group now, the other corps. What we're going to come and try and do now is we're going to come round to the right now to form the other arc of the pincer movement. So let's take the 58 and head for that mechanized brigade. That's in the middle of us. In the middle
this way
of the screen. Yes, that's it. Stick him next to that mechanized brigade. See what happens. Try and shift him on his way.
Yeah.
There you go. Good. Right. That's fine. He's moved quite a lot. We'll leave him there for now. Let's move another one. See if we can now move a little bit further around again. Can we get behind that HQ unit? In the middle. Yeah.
This one you're talking about.
No, further down.
The one that's that one. Okay.
That's it. Yeah. Move to there. See if we can get to there.
Okay, now that retreated on its own.
That's fine, yeah, because it was scared.
Yes.
So what I would do now is I would stop there. Not that we might not come back to it, but rather than count all our eggs that might not have hatched yet, if we want to go down to the light pink now, that's it.
Right.
Let's smash another hole in here. Let's get rid of all these.
Okay, before we do that, we're going to end this episode, not the live stream for those watching, but we're going to end this episode. So you're going to have to come back next time to see us punch the lower part of the pincer movement around these two corps here, or two divisions. So thanks everyone for watching. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Of course, hit the like button. We would love to have you around. Exurgent and I are looking at this is going to be a very long campaign, so I hope you follow it with us. Thanks, everyone. Say goodbye, Exurgent.
See ya. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll see you next time for more historical gaming. Yeah, okay, we're not ending the live stream. I just want to sort of check here. Hello, Ragar. How you doing? Should be more sensible air interface, yes. Is there something you can do with naval? I think there is naval elements to this, but this is primarily a land campaign.
So there's two things you can do with naval, really. First of all, you can do your naval bombing and interdiction, which we spoke about briefly. With the naval sea group, I think it was Luftwaffe Ostsee, which is German for, I think, Recon North Sea, I think. Or East Sea, Ostsee, yeah. You've then got some naval units that you could load divisions onto and then try and invade with them. But having just briefly read that in the rulebook, it does even say in the rulebook that that's rare to use them in this game. So it's quite a small section of the rulebook. So it's only one paragraph long in the rulebook, and let's put it this way, everything else is about 10 paragraphs to game. So right. Let's bash away then and make another hole. Try and come
we're gonna
round
make
to the
another.
other
We're gonna
side.
start another episode here. Okay. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here, along with Exurgent. Say hello, Exurgent.
Hello, everyone. How you doing?
And he is helping us learn War in the East too. And before we get into all that, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and also the like button. And we'd love to hear your comments, questions. If you have questions, we will be checking them out and either answer them in some future stream or possibly a quick text answer. So, yes, we're going to continue here. And as he was just saying, we are going to see about bashing south around this group. Okay. Now, do you think it would be better to start here and start clearing this out this way, or would it be better to start here, do you think?
I think your first option was the better option.
Right. Okay. So we're going to look here, and we have 11.6 attack value versus 0.3 defense. So it looks like it's going to be a cakewalk for our soldiers, of course. Nobody will be hurt. And it's almost quite true.
11 people.
Yeah. So
it's not a bad game. I'll take that.
Yeah. Okay.
I would ignore that one.
Okay.
I
So
would
we're
I
gonna.
would try and take out the 3 fortresses behind. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So we might get a bit of a penalty movement here.
So I guess we can come up here.
Bit of attrition to move into there, but let's do it anyway. Let's get on there. Click on there. That's it. And then he's our first one in the chain. If you leave him there, yeah,
Okay.
you could try getting rid of that one if you want, but
No, it's not that good of odds. I think we have plenty of
so
other units.
let's move the rest of his core out and around. So they're gonna. Let's see. Yeah, let's move them.
Like to
In,
here, is
in fact, I tell you what. Move him back one first, and I'll teach you, and I'll show you something else. Where if you move him to where the 14 is, back down one. That's it. Move him
here,
to there. Yep.
right?
Now, if you click on 32 ID on the right-hand side, the name of the unit, hopefully it'll bring up the unit card. See if you click on the name at the top, 32 ID. No. There you go. Yeah. So we can, at the bottom of this little unit card, it says assign support units. Let's assign it a support unit. Let's see what we've got in here.
Right.
So these are all currently assigned to higher HQs that this unit is in the chain of.
Mm-hmm.
So we're about to assault somebody who's going to have 2-6, who's quite good defense. Let's give him something like a pioneer battalion to break that defense up. So there we go. We've assigned specifically to this unit, and we'll have to unassign it later because we've assigned it specifically to this unit. A pioneer squadron now, a battalion to try and help us break that 2-6 up. Let's give that a go.
And we now have a 28 here, and so 14 to 7.
I'll do a deliberate there.
Okay.
Shit.
Yeah, 28 to.
There, let's give him a big. There we go. Right, and that worked.
Mm-hmm.
That got rid of them. So that last infantry unit now can walk through the one in the core. So I would leave him where he is now.
Okay.
I'd leave him. Yeah, I'd leave him where he is. Take him now, yeah, and let's walk through that gap. Let's try and see how far we can get deep upward into Russia. Just keep going. That's it.
Should we follow the
Bearing
railway
in
tracks?
Yeah, go on then, because we've got the panzers that will go even further, so we can close the pincer with the panzer. Okay, so he's done. He's got 9. We could attack if you wanted to, but up to you.
Why not? Why not? Because it's 10 to 0.1. So
yeah,
that's just. And we had the capture the depot there.
Yep, that's good. So then.
Okay, so we've got that. We'll leave them where he is. We can move up some other forces. Now.
So what? So before we. Yeah,
we have this
we've got loads of. Shift him. Let's move him out then. Yeah.
Okay, so do we want to use him in here? Or do we want to?
I would. Well, I'd go into there. But why didn't you take a different route? I would try and go. That's it. That way, out round the back. That's it.
Back to here, and then.
Yeah.
Then up that way, you think?
Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's it. So now, I know you've got a gap of 2 there, but they're both in the zone of control of both of those infantry divisions. So to get through there is going to cost a lot of attrition for those Russian units. So I'm quite happy with that.
All right. Now, do we want to try to break through here? Or...
So there's 2 things that you've got to do. You've probably got to leave a few infantry divisions to hold the front to stop those Russians counterattacking.
Right, which we
but
have
then what the main
here.
thing. Yeah, we do. But the main thing we want to do, though, is move the panzers up and around. So we want to try and get as many of these panzer units and mechanized units up towards, is it Riga? That we can?
Riga's, up here.
Yeah, so
Okay,
as
so
close to that as we can get.
okay,
So I would pick one, yeah, and see how far he can get.
we can get up to here for sure. I guess partially what I'm wondering is how important is it to secure the railway's first turn or not? But
It certainly is worth capturing some of them because it cuts their lines of supply off as well.
now, do we want to ignore these and encircle them, or do we want to try to battle our way through this formation here?
Right, so there's only really two that are going to stay: the infantry unit and
Armor.
the panzer unit. So I would
Yeah.
try and fight the panzer unit off, but I wouldn't do it with my panzer. I would do it with the mechanized. Is there a mechanized unit down there somewhere? Yeah, there it is, further back. 2650, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, we can come up to here with this. With a bunch of supplies. Okay, well, deliberate attack. That I
Yeah,
think
deliberate attack, yeah.
would do that. Okay, they're routed. The 28 Tank Division.
So what we can do with this guy, if you press B
You
on
want
your
to go?
keyboard,
Okay, B.
it's broken that division down into 3 regiments.
Right.
So what we do is going to move them regiment by regiment now to
Right.
give
Okay.
us that chain again. So if you move them with so they're next to each other, so 1 by 1 by 1, so they're in 3 hexes in a row, going north. Like that is fine. So you're trying to create a bit of a chain, just so you don't get cut off. That's it. That's fine.
And do we want to move this one north as well?
Yeah, if you do that, we'll have to backfill it with an infantry division
no,
later.
well then
But
we probably shouldn't.
we can do that.
No, I'm just trying to. Okay, so you
Because we've
think
got
that's a
movement
good?
points left, so you
Oh,
can
we
do that if
do.
you want to.
Oh, we do. But I just not sure what you think is best here. Or should we spread these 3 out further, or should they be in contact with each other? Should we have a gap of 1 hex per regiment?
Because they're only regiments and not divisions now, because we broke it down. You don't want to leave too much of a gap. Maximum
Okay.
1. You don't want to leave 2, like you've done with some of the divisions.
Okay, so I guess let's see if we do that and that. That would be good.
Yep.
Okay. That's what we're looking at then. Okay, good. So we have a battle line like that. So now, presumably, let's get the 1st Panzer Division, move them up towards this HQ up here.
Yeah, because they should run away.
Right.
Oh, there must be something underneath it. What have we got underneath?
Yeah, okay. Well, it's a 0.1 versus 15, so I think a hasty attack is
Definitely.
I think it may be just a city garrison, almost an anti-tank brigade or something there.
It is an anti-tank brigade, yeah.
Okay, so we got that. They're routed.
What? So before we can get right up to the border of Riga,
Right.
if we want to. But have
Do
we got
we want
anyone
to?
else who can backfill the gap?
Well, we have more panzer divisions if we want to bring them up.
So we don't need to move it. We just need to know they can do it if we need to. That's all.
Yeah, well, we have the yes, we have the 6th Panzer Division here.
So that's it. I think you can go ahead then and knock on the door of Riga with one of them then.
Now, looking at this, we have a 14 defense here at Riga.
We do.
Do we want to bring up a couple of panzer divisions and attack it, or do we want to try to swing out around it and surround it?
Well, it's certainly going to be better from attacking from the other side of the river than it will be from this side.
Okay, so if we were to come up here, like that, with this unit.
So before you attack with him.
Well, I'm not attacking with him at the moment. I'm just moving him up. So we've got up him there. I'm looking here for. Okay, we have this 6th Panzer Division.
So I would get him.
Will we go there, you think, or what?
How far on? If we go the other side of the river, how many points does he have left? Movement point.
Can't. We could stack, but that would be it.
No, I'd do what you were going to do then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it help to attack from more than one location, or does it matter? Meaning, if we stack them versus attacking from a deliberate attack from 2 different locations, does that matter? Do you know?
I don't know if it helps us at all, but I know what will happen is we'll get a negative for attacking across the river. So
right.
I think if there was no river, I'd say do it because it makes logical sense and must be factored in somewhere. But because there's a river, then I think that we could still do it, but I still think we'd win the battle. Well, 50-50, but I wouldn't want to do it if there was a river there, if you know what I mean. My natural instinct is not to do that.
Yeah,
but before you do that,
I don't know that we are going to do this, but yeah.
Okay. But if you do choose to do it, if you make sure the HQ of both of those divisions is within 5 hexes, it can lend its support units, which will make it
okay. Well, we can do
the
that.
attack value higher.
Let's move them up to there.
So I would put him
moving to the crossroads.
Yeah. So we've got to make sure that he's not left on his own,
right?
Because it's only
that's
HQ.
Why we're going to move this motorized division up, just because I don't want to forget it later on.
So what you've done now is you've now cut off that whole peninsula.
Right.
So that they're all done for. They can only take supply from those ports, and we'll take them next turn, and then they'll have no ports, and then they'll be out of supply, and they'll just get destroyed. So we've only got to debate how we're going to go about this.
Okay. Other than bringing up more units, is there any reason to wait?
No, it's that type of thing. Any other unit that gets up there is going to be in the same situation. It just gives us more strength. So that's just debatable whether you want to do that or not.
2-1 deliberate attack. Well,
I think there's one more somewhere. I think it's the SS brigade is another part of that. It's there, yeah.
It's attached to the HQ. We can bring it up though. Let's bring it up. So this way we'll have a deliberate attack with 3 divisions.
Yeah. Give all 3. If you let all 3.
Okay, 57 to 14. So that seems like a better operation.
Thousand men. That's good. Yeah, that's good. So it's gone. It's gone. So you can move into Riga now. And you got 10 victory points for that. So that seems worth it on first turn, doesn't it?
And they can have a little murder party there. Which is what happened historically. I don't know if you've seen footage of that. That was basically what happened in Riga and several of these places when they showed up. Yep. As we were saying earlier in the previous episode, yes, it's the bad guys versus the bad guys. And we're very aware of that. All right. Okay. So we have a reasonable chain of control, or whatever you want to call it, through here with this advance. We have.
So what I would try.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, what I would try and do now is stick one more unit, or maybe 2 more, behind these Russian units, cut them off
Right.
completely, and make that a pocket.
Right. Okay. So we have that. Okay. I'm. We've got this division here. And we could come up.
Yeah, move them to there.
Come up to here. And now, this division, are we going to worry about them coming after our HQs? Should we keep a front line
Yes.
here? Yes, okay,
Yes.
So we'll come up and we'll move him to here. And we'll swing him around this way here.
Yep. That's it. Now, that lot there are encircled. Next turn, those 11s as defense values will drop to probably 1s.
Okay.
They'll be much easier to get rid of. And the reason we've done that is just to get practice at making a pocket. So we get used to what we've got to do to get rid of the Russian army.
Okay. Merlitail says taking Riga on turn 1 is essential. If left there, the position becomes much stronger on turn 2. Very good to know. So we have taken it and secured our way up there. We have a reasonable front line, yes?
Those panzer units, the luminous pink ones.
Yes. These
There's two more infantry divisions in the same corps.
Right.
I reckon
here. Okay.
Yeah,
we should have another panzer division here under this stack here. So we should move the panzer division somewhere. Where would?
So I would go up that way
here, or join up with the Riga push.
I would go the other way. I would go up that way here.
So
we're not going to make a pocket, but we're just going to go as far as we can.
Right.
And again. Yeah, and again.
Well, let's see about that.
Get rid of that armor unit. I don't like armor.
Okay. 16-2, I think a hasty attack will do it. Tank division routed. Very good. Well, okay, let's look. What are we going to be doing with these guys? Are they going to come? Let's see.
I think something very similar. So I think something very similar to what we've done, but in a bigger scale. So the dark green ones are going to get rid of as many of the fortresses as we can on that little sticky out bit.
Right. Now, what I'm wondering is how. Well, I think we're going to leave this one here for the moment, because we want to try to coordinate it with whatever is going to be coming out of here, whether to swing more north or to swing more south, or to just keep sort of moving, straight up this, northeast direction. Okay. And as you're talking about, so we have this, and we'll deal with getting some of these headquarters moved up in a bit once things are a little more secure. But I guess we'll start here, and we will start cleaning up some of these. Four, three, we'll take the weakest one. Guess first.
That's the mountain general, that one. If you click on him again when he attacks.
Here,
yeah, no, I think he might have been in the corps, but I'm sure it was Forrester. See the mountain general.
Forrester, don't know. Not sure.
Not sure. He'll come up again, and when you attack again, don't worry.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go. Forrester. See him?
Right.
I'm sure that he was a mountain general. Don't matter.
That'll be here. Maybe. Otto Forrester? Don't know the name. Yeah, they're
Unless it
German
was
generals. I don't know the
might have
name.
been.
Okay, so now we have
So you've
this
done really well there. So I
five
would
defensive
get.
unit. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say get the rest of his corps and carry on. So that, yeah, infantry units in the same group and just carry on. You can use him because he's unattached at the moment. Yep.
Now,
Deliberate
I'm
attack
wondering
mode,
if, yeah, with both of these, just overkill.
That's it. It's got rid of him, and that's the important thing, isn't it?
Right.
And then either you move him up, Gamer, or you use him to clean out as much of those fortress divisions as you can, because then that'll free up all the others.
Yeah, you're right. That'll be most likely, I think, our best use.
Even though we're going to fight him to stand still, next turn he's probably not going to fight a lot because he'll be further behind, so he'll just move up.
Right.
So he can recover over that period of time. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to exhaust the hell out of him.
And then does he have any friends in his corps? Say the 6th ID
Okay,
in the 4th corps.
Yeah, he is out.
Okay, so you've only got that other one with 5 left. I would move him in front of that Panzer division. So yeah, that one. That's it. Move him right up to the Panzer division, not Panzer, armor division.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it. Is your corps? Are they all still in?
We can move him up.
Yeah, move him up a little bit just so he's
That'll be safe. It'll be safe there, I'm sure.
Yeah. And then you got an option. You either carry on with the greens as you are, or you use some of these unassigned units at the back that are in white.
That would probably be better.
So, Gamer, you're the expert in World War II imagery, as in making images for games.
Mm-hmm.
With these images in here of all these generals, do you think that they're real life images or just computer adaptations of them when they come up on the little combat screens?
Well, this is Papa Hoth here. I recognize him, not just from seeing there. So that's Papa Hoth. Now they've did an effect to sort of make it this way, so that they're probably all looking the same. In a graphics effect. I don't specifically know which one. Let's click on another. And
because I tell you what, guys in the military don't half like their picture being taken, don't they?
Well, I don't know. People don't like cameras stuck in their face, at least until this is
before the day of the selfie, before the age of the
yeah. I mean,
and there's a picture of every general. You know what I mean?
Well, before that there was paintings of many generals. I don't know if every general, but that was a thing. So now were a lot of these photos taken maybe when they're not looking their best. But so it's just this looks like Hopner. I think they got it, and they're just putting in an effect over it. Notice that they have here and here, like it's from a ID card folder thing, because that's how they would use sort of a grommet to hold the photo in, and then they've added the national sort of banner here. Let's see, can we click on? No, I was wondering if we could get who the Soviet was image, but yeah, so they've done that. And here we can see here Keller again. They're using that, so they're very much trying to keep these all looking the same. with their style, so it all matches. Don't worry, Eric. We're still on the first 20% of the first turn.
Yes, we definitely are.
As we get going, we may end up doing one turn per episode, but that may be wishful thinking. But that is the nature of this beast. All right. Okay. So we pushed out here. We pushed here. Now we have some units back here. Okay, we could come
use
here.
Yeah. So, you've got two things that you need to think about here now, gamer. Is A, going north and forward, but also your pocket going south. So
Right.
you're probably going to want to use your luminous green Panzer army that hasn't moved yet to come in and swing south into Minsk. Where's Minsk?
Minsk is right here.
Oh, okay. So it's moved forward and north a bit. So let me re-articulate. So
okay, so here's the Pripyat marshes right here. So right along here is sort of this dead zone that we're going to establish for the north element, not necessarily
Correct.
Army Group North, but north element. And below this is our sort of southern, coming into the Ukraine here. So I'm not quite sure, this being a bona fide hardcore war game, graphics are absolutely top notch. Yeah, they're doing very good, I think, on their graphics. But so we're going to have to. This is such a badly placed swamp for ourselves here. As we can see, as we get in here, there are some railways here, so we can get some supply, but we're going to have to watch all of that and how we move forward and create pockets. So we're going to have, I presume, pockets to the north and pockets to the south of this.
Yep, definitely.
So we're looking, this force here, we could swing it south, but I think most of this here, because I'm seeing some armor here, got some infantry. I think should have some armor out here. In Romania, some German army.
There's definitely a Romanian armor brigade somewhere.
Right, but okay, this is probably the Romanian. Okay, that's the Romanian armored division. I thought Germany had an armored division or two down here.
I don't know if they did at the start or whether they got sent down there later.
Yeah, that may be a bit later. I guess it's just infantry divisions down here. So what, as we see here, okay. Okay, so this is going to be our main armor thrust.
And of course, they can't move on turn one down there, gamer. What we've got to do to unlock that is we've got to get one single unit either east or south of Lvov. Is it Lvov? There it is. You see it's come
right
up?
Here. Right here.
There. We need to be east or south of that to unlock the southern bits.
Well, we should be able to do that. Well, technically, we're almost straight north of it here, so we just move into here, so that shouldn't be too big of a problem.
In War in the Game, in War in the East 1, you actually had to get all the way down to the border, so they've amended that slightly, which is good.
Okay, so we have here, just sort of looking for use, we have the Leibstandarte Brigade, which is really a division, but the naming convention was always sort of behind it. For some reason, this is starting with 0 movement this turn.
Yes, it's locked this turn. It unlocks next turn.
Right. Okay. But we keep that in mind for future operations. Das Reich and Vinking is here, and I guess this is locked this turn as well. But we have the 16th Panzer, the 9th Panzer down here, the 14th, 16th motorized division. Okay, the 11th Panzer. Okay, I'm not saying we have enough by any means, because obviously they didn't. They lost. but we have significant amounts of panzers that we can sort of thrust in. Okay, let's talk grand strategy here a little bit on this scale. This is absolutely the Riga movement is absolutely critical, necessary, not really open for debate of whether we should or shouldn't do it. But what are our goals? Do we want to try to come out here north of Lvov and try to pocket all this down to Odessa? Do we want to try to sort of just roll or try to drive to Kiev and try to roll this up with local forces? What sort of big plans do we want to try to keep in mind as goals and objectives other than simply moving forward?
So a really good question, and we could go anywhere with this discussion. So do stop me if I go off track. So in my mind, this is about knocking Russia out of the war before the end of 41. Because if it goes beyond that, I don't care what anyone says. I think the war's finished. And that's just in history.
Right.
So I think our goal has got to be to get rid of Moscow and Leningrad. We've got to get rid of both of those places by the end of 41. So objective number one for me is getting rid of Leningrad and swinging whatever is north, south to take out Moscow as quick as we can. In the south, what's the objective? Well, I think the objective is not allowing ourselves to get too far forward, but as far forward as we can get, if that makes sense. So we don't want to be at Stalingrad because that's going to be quite a long stringed out line, but we want to be in a rough straight line. So I think we want by the end of 41 to be taking the line of towns that is Tula, Oriel, Kursk, Krakow. You understand? You want to be in that line as you go down.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that your immediate goals, to answer your question, is both Odessa and Kiev. I think that armor group has got to first come south a little bit to unlock all the Romanians and all the things in the southern bit, and then once that's unlocked, swing north to Kiev,
Mm-hmm.
and then allowing the Romanians, who unfortunately have just got to take Odessa on their own. We haven't got enough manpower, I don't think, to do both with that Panzer group.
Right. Well, and as you were saying yeah, we definitely can see, I guess what you call victory hexes here, or positions, or however you want to say it. I had just an interesting thought. What if and yeah, I know some, other, Talon and Smolensk and whatever on the way, but what kind of victory conditions would we be seeing if we actually take Leningrad and Moscow in 41? Would that win us this war in this game, do you think, or not?
It would be so close, then we might have to take one more place, then it would tip us over the edge. But the answer is yes, I think, simply put. Because if you look at all the other victories,
okay, yeah, and hello, Alex Plays. Yeah, YouTube is messed up with its notifications. We're very glad to have you here. Okay. Why? Is there a good reason, if we've determined that if we take, more than likely, if we take Moscow and Leningrad, which of course they never did both. In my opinion, they could have taken Leningrad, but they just decided to besiege it, thinking it's going to be an easier thing, and obviously that doesn't work out. Should we push all the armor north of the Pripyat marshes, basically? Should we just do an infantry, basically, and I don't know if, what's going to happen to all these forces down here if we just push the German infantry east, and along with the Hungarians, the Romanians, and whatever else, Slovakians, and whatever else we find that we can add to our front? Or is that going to free up too much of their forces and they're just going to come charging north?
That's a really good argument,
and hit us in the flank.
Yeah, there's a really good argument, and it's not so much do they come north and hit us in the flank. There's also a question about do we leave too many units on the map? Because part of beating the Russians is getting rid of as many units as you can. So you
Right.
want to surround them and get rid of them, not just let them run away, because units that run away come back. So if we
Right.
can take them off, they're gone forever. So there is a question about, do we miss out on pocketing in the south because we've all gone north?
Right. I
So,
think in a real
well,
world sense, it's probably best to push down in here. I was just wondering if this game would count
I
as having a victory by and just not quite ignoring it, but deprioritizing it to the point of I don't even know, is there even a good reason to leave any armored forces down here, or and just concentrate, or do we stick with the historical disposition of the armored forces or not?
the key point is there's nothing stopping you.
Right. Well,
The
I'm asking what your thoughts are on this.
well, I think it's a big risk. I think it's a big risk because if you look at all those units on the map now, what you're right
Right.
on now, that there's
Because
an awful lot.
Exergen,
An
I
aw-
really take this as we're playing this together. So
yeah,
we're going to agree upon
I
the
think there's just
strategy.
an awful lot of units we're missing out on capturing.
Okay. I mean that's a very legit um, idea. Now, historically, um, one, they thought there was going to be a collapse of the Soviets. Two, Hitler was very worried about resources, including the resources in the Ukraine. So, where they weren't worried about that, I don't even think it entered their minds when they were attacking France of like, oh, well, where's the factories or where's the mines? No, they were just getting in there to defeat the French army, take the French, political centers of Paris and whatnot, and achieve victory. They weren't worrying about where the grapes were growing, the wines that they wanted to drink or whatever. That was not entering their minds in their planning phases, but very much so. At least from everything I've read and heard, getting the Ukraine for its food and other things and its resources generally were high priorities for German planning, which very well may have been a mistake on the Germans' part. And I was just wondering whether ignoring it. Okay, I'm going to take your point and agree that we probably shouldn't ignore the Ukraine front, as we can maybe call it. So now, with that in mind, um, the next big question is, and you've been talking about it, is pocketing versus achieving the goal of particularly Moscow. They had
Yeah,
this debate partway through, obviously historically, and they stopped for 10 days and debated on whether to make pockets or rush to Moscow.
so,
We
so
can we can continue to push through, and I'm not so much worried about first turn here, but how long is the turn daytime? Dave, you know, you're a fan.
it's a week. I think it's a
Week.
week.
Okay, yeah. So I'm not worried about like first turn or second turn, but do we worry more about creating big pockets and eliminating units like you talked about? And I'm sure it's a good idea, or do we stay more focused on achieving Leningrad and Moscow for the northern fronts? Do we let units escape and get Leningrad and Moscow while we're trying to make pockets or whatnot down here in the south? But do we try to eliminate the army forces? Is it are we doing too much in trying to do both, get pockets and take these points in 1941? Hey, Gilmer.
It's a really good question. Going on War in the East one, you definitely had to try and do both. I think. If you could pocket as much as you liked, if you didn't take the victory points, you would eventually just there'd be too many Russian units appearing because, come turn 3 or 4, they start slapping down new units everywhere. So it didn't matter how many you pocketed because there was always more coming. So there is a cause of thought that actually you've just got to get there and take the victory points as well. So what would I do? I think we've got to go and take Leningrad and Moscow, but we can't stop pocketing.
Well, obviously, like this pocket here is, yeah, that's great. We have not delayed our push to Riga for this. We have not delayed any real panzer thrust for this, as well as the sort of Kurland pocket here that we created for them that Germany then later was in their own Kurland pocket in 45. But that, because we can push right from these panzers here, we can push north, because I am trying to also look very much with creating, lines of control, if you will, as we push deeper into it. But looking at the railways and wanting to follow the railways, because I do know, and I don't know, it's been a long time since I played, but this is an engineering unit here that will repair railways, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this turn we won't be controlling this railway here, but eventually we will. So it will secure that railway and keep supplies moving.
We can always take the railway to the north up the sea and bring it round whilst we wait. So you just see there, just going across the border up past Memel.
What are we talking about? Oh.
Yeah, there. Yeah. You go up there and then hang left. There's a junction there on the sea, on the front.
Memel,
up one.
Yeah, here?
No, up 1 square from Memel. Up 1 square from Memel.
Oh, here?
Heck, yeah, and then you see it goes right.
Yes.
Yes. So we could use that if we can't because of that pocket. We can still do it. We just got to shift that armor unit.
Okay. Well, we somewhat are out of forces for shifting that armor unit this turn.
I think you still have a panzer unit down there. I'm sure that you haven't moved it. Oh no, you moved one. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we got this guy going this way.
Okay.
So yeah, no, it's fine here. I think we're fine this turn, but we want to I'm very sure. I know I haven't played this deeply, but this rail line here, as well as this rail line here, we'll need to secure.
Yeah.
Here. And what is Barrett Bailey's free exertion? Don't know if you know him.
Nope.
Sadly, but yeah, probably. Oh, haven't heard from you. I don't know. Who's this? It's free exertion. Surgeon here. He's helping comment and strategize and very much teach me the details of the game. So okay, so if we're going to move up here, and so we will come back and focus in on the immediate tactical situation, but goal of Leningrad and Moscow. So Minsk and Smolensk will need to be taken, and we'll need to clear a way through up to here, and these rails will need to be secured. The gamer is struggling with the game. Yep, a little bit, but we're trying to figure out the strategies here. Yes.
Well, I think your strategy's fine. So if we go both up those rail lines to Minsk and Smolensk, then you're creating a pocket naturally, aren't you? So if the blue Panzer Group, I think that's Panzer Group 2, just goes north, east, taking those 2 rail lines that you've just articulated, and then if Panzer 3 just comes across in a straight line, gamer, to Minsk, which is the yellow one further up. Yeah, that one there. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
That just goes in a straight line. You make a pocket, don't you, naturally?
Right. Okay. So that's exactly what I was trying to sort of figure out. Get our long-term goals, and then how best. Because I will say I have a tendency to sort of naturally flow with units like this. If I sort of describe it as water flowing through least resistance and creating pockets, advancing to where we can, get objectives and keep going. I often forget, it's not it's a bad strategy. It often works with Hearts of Iron 3 quite well. But often losing sight of ultimate objectives like Leningrad and Moscow. But so I just sort of wanting to plan because we have sort of the decisions to make here. Okay, so what I'm suggesting now, instead of, obviously this turn is going to take multiple sessions to make, which is fine. We're going to break out and around Brest-Litovsk here. And so there's Pripyat proper. So let's.
So if we're going to do that, let's use the blues and the purples to clear out as much as we can before we move them.
Right. Yeah, that's sort of my thought. Okay, so
So you've got, that's only a regiment. Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, that's right. Good.
Which I'm going after the much weaker forces here. I'm hoping. I'm looking here at the yeah, that's a bit weak there.
You could try and do both together if you want. Shift and hold and go over. Yeah. You could probably, can both of them do it? Yeah, that's it.
Okay, there we go. I just wanted to clear that flank out. And then here with let's do a deliberate attack. That's a rather strong unit, okay.
Yeah, I would use that infantry unit to exhaustion and try and take out as many of them. Yeah. Right, so that one's going to be a hard nut to crack. Yeah,
Right.
one more and then stop, and then we go down the blue side.
Okay, so they secure it to there. And then
yeah, that was a good place. Or maybe the one to the right of that gamer and take out the fortress brigade. Yeah, that one. Yeah, take out the fortress first. Yeah. There you go. 178 to 1. That's good odds, isn't it?
Right, now let's see if we...
Yeah.
Do we want to do that? Just overwhelm this? 6 to 1? Yeah.
Yeah, because then it allows you then to move forward and take out the other 9 on the other corner to the right.
Right, okay, these guys... We'll do a hasty attack there. Clear that. They'll come here.
Both of them attack, yeah.
These guys will just do a hasty there, and then let's see what...
What odds is that?
3 to 1. 3 to 1. 30 to 10.
Give it a go then. 3 to 1's not bad.
Okay.
There you go.
So we push that there.
Yeah, so I'd move that bottom. Yeah, move that bottom one up there. That's it. That's it.
Oh.
But I'd take both of them together if I were you, gamer. Yeah, and then let's make sure, because they're both blues, so we're not losing anything. Yeah, that's it. Take them out. And the same again if we can. What's that?
Okay. just slightly less than 2-1. Do we want to assault the Breslatov fortress?
Well, if you're worried that it's not enough, you've got a blue infantry division just there. That's it. You could add them in and make 5 different units attack that one fortress. Total overkill, I know, but it gets rid of him.
Nope, it's not total overkill. It's effective. Okay, so we've got that.
Yeah, that's gone. We didn't repeat the mistake of history there. See.
Right. Okay, now we have. Well,
Does that take 2 weeks, gamer, to get rid of that in real life?
Well, there was a small. I mean, they took the overall city fairly quickly, like about 2 weeks or whatever. But it was like a month or so of a holdout group in the fortress of, like, I don't know, less than 100 people that fought to the death. So there was a small core that was just sort of besieged in there.
Yeah. So now we create our line again, like we did up in the north. So if you move your infantry first and see how far we can get with them.
Right. So they're going to come up to here.
Yeah.
And attack.
Yeah. Leave him where he is, but if he can attack him, yeah, that'll do.
We're going to come back for this guy to here.
Yeah, and then shift that army unit if he's got enough.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, one more, but then that probably leave him where he is then. Yeah.
He's exhausted, but we've moved them up. Now, HQs. Okay, that's what I was looking for. No, what? No.
Yeah, there. That's a good idea. So I think that's really good. You've made some real good progress there. If you now look at the back, if you look at behind the front line there, gamer, you've got a load of blue units further back.
Motorized,
if you move,
yes.
Yeah, I would move them first now because they're at least 4 or 5 hexes further away. So if you move them first, we know then the ones on the front line can get even further. Yeah, that one's probably the furthest one, isn't it? Yeah, the SS rock. That's right.
Okay. But I'm just trying to. Okay. Trying to get the. Okay, so I guess Dosterreich will go north. The rest of these may go south.
Yeah, I think so. Unless you want to move him out of that command into a different, then yeah, I think that's what we need to do.
Right, so we'll come up to here.
Yeah. And then leave him. Yeah, and then move the rest to try and make a chain onwards from him.
Okay, here are their HQs, so I'm going to move the HQ up to here.
I'd move him even on top of the. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, just getting him up to here. Just partially, I'm worried a little bit about how far away he's from his parent HQ. And so I wanted to stack him with, yes, an exhausted unit, but still it's a unit that will help protect. Okay.
Can he get across the river there, gamer?
Yeah, he can get up to here.
Yeah, one. I'd go one back from there to start off with. Yeah,
here?
Yeah, no, to the.
Here?
Up, yes, there. And then just see if he can go one more across that river. Yeah, it's a good bridgehead now. Because what that does is it means it's easier for other units to follow him through across that river. So he's done the hard work, put the bridges down, if you like. The rest can just go across. You just got to be careful with the route they take.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're routed, but they're exhausted.
That's the Deutschland. That's probably the
Großdeutschen Motor Regiment, yes.
It's probably the best German regiment, that one.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
So what's good about that is you haven't moved any of that front armored core yet. And we're halfway up that road, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if you get him out of the way. If we now have how much further have we got to go up that motorway before we reach Minsk? So
Minsk is up here.
So if we go one more and take that airfield, yeah, we can then probably reach Minsk with the Blues, Panzer Group 2, can't we? Yeah, those two there, for example, they could definitely.
Okay. Let's move this HQ up to here. Right. Okay. No, we can't. It's just.
That was a cavalry, wasn't it? That one.
Yeah, this here. Okay, there we go. Yeah. They're falling back. What else can we get up here with them? Okay.
Yeah, we probably need somebody in that gap, don't we?
Well, it's both the gap and trying to move enough force up here for coordinated attack. Is what I'm thinking at the moment. I need you to come up path of least resistance. That's why I'm clicking sort of intermediate stops. Right, okay, well we have. Okay, well let's. Okay, the cavalry.
One more there.
Yeah. What I'm looking for is, like moving, like.
So yeah, that looks good.
Well. No, what I think we want to do is come to here. Let's secure our flanks with this cavalry unit, not the panzer unit here. They fell back to there. We keep pushing here. Okay.
Just be careful you don't get out of range of your HQ.
Yeah, well, see, that's why I moved the HQ up here. So that he is there. So we're just securing to some degree this flank here. Right, okay. Now.
So you've got loads of green spare units in there. You know, you can probably clear a path to Minsk that way as well, couldn't you? With some of the infantry that you've got left there.
Yes.
Because a lot of what's in front of you has already run away.
Let's see what we can do here. Let's move.
Move some of the white ones at the back gamer first, because then you can fill your holes that you're going to make. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, he can hit him then, can't he?
Yep. Defenders held. They held. Okay, well, we have other units to move up, and we should have. Been a little better about that, but. Oh wow, these guys have
Yeah.
held. I blew this. Okay, let's get both of these in. Deliberate attack. They retreated. There's something wrong with that unit. It's fighting too well. It's not supposed to oppose me.
I suppose they can't all run away.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, fill that hole. Just
maybe they can
all of those units.
can get some lessons from the French. I don't know. Okay, let's save it. Let's get this guy.
Get myself into trouble. Can't say too much.
Right. Okay. Yeah, these guys just can't get up too far. But we're gonna move them for future turns. But not exhaust them in the movement.
If you've got one more as well, that's lying around, that's a white one.
Not too much, I guess.
That one there. What's that one? Yeah. Move that one right round to the front. You see? Do you see there where just? It's hard for me to explain. On the edge of our right-hand pocket, if you put him right on the edge of the front to stop our flank from, yeah, in there somewhere.
Okay, we can get to here.
If you go down a bit from there, but to the same sort of level.
No.
Back one.
Yeah, we can go to
there.
here.
Put him in there, because then the green infantry unit can then move forward from there.
Right, absolutely. Okay, so we will move. No, him.
Yeah.
No, him. Not him.
That's it. And then you can. That's it. You can get in there then and clear the way that way.
Okay. Well, we don't have too much movement left, so we're going to do a deliberate attack, just overwhelming.
And we're not too far then from our home.
Right.
And I think there was another infantry unit,
Yeah.
one above him. Yeah, that's it there. He can do the similar sort of thing. Clean out that guy. Those two there. That's him gone. That's good.
What are the plans for Crimea? Bypass or try to take it? Well, okay. Here's my current thoughts on it, and by the time we get there, things may change, of course. One, we're going to try to be laser focused on pocketing units here in the Crimea, not Crimea, in the Ukraine, and driving for Moscow and Leningrad in sort of the north central fronts, if you will. Now, when we get down there, if we can take it, yeah. If it's a difficulty because either they've got a good, force holding it here or well dug in at Sevastopol or something, I say leave it and bypass it. But we'll come there, I'm sure, when we get there. Whatever I'm saying now is not going to be, something that hold us to it once we see the conditions on the ground. There, at least that's my current thoughts, which is I don't know. But we're gonna try to stay objective focused. Okay, so we've cleared out here.
So I think, you've done a good job there. I'm really happy with how you've cleared that all out. So I think we could probably test the water now with one of the green Panzer units.
Well,
and maybe drive forward.
Because we have this unit here. Do we want to try to push?
Well,
through
I would
way?
leave him for now.
Okay.
Not because I think what you're saying is wrong, but if we can't take Minsk, how far forward do we want to go and isolate him? Do you understand what I mean?
Right. Okay.
And
Okay.
all right, we might not take it, but we want to be on the verge of taking it at the very least. So.
Okay, so we're coming with this motorized division.
Yeah, I would just clean everyone out.
part of what I'm looking with him is this railway system up here.
Definitely.
And while using the motorized and panzer forces to drive straight at Minsk, use him securing the northern flank. But let's... Okay, what we need to do is move up our HQ.
Yeah. When he's done those 2 attacks, I think he probably has got to stay sort of where he is. If you do it again, I'll deliberate it. Yeah, that's it.
Should have delivered it first, but yes. Okay, so he'll stay there. Now.
There's another motorized at the back there.
Yeah, I know. We have 2 infantry divisions that we can move up to fill up some of that gap as
good idea.
Needed. Okay, now here. Yeah, this looks like it may be a... Okay, we're going to take the one in the hills here first because it'll probably be the easiest. So it'll be a bit stronger when we take them in the swamp or whatever that is. Do we have an undo button here? Yeah.
Okay. But sometimes it won't let you if you've exposed people that you probably shouldn't have done it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because probably coming here would have been better, but we can take these out. Clearing paths. Right.
And that's a good enough place. Yeah, I would leave him there. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So now we have this division. We can come to here. It's coming out of a different HQ.
I think so.
Yeah, let's move him up then. I guess to there for the moment. Oh, wait a minute. Did I move the wrong... Yeah, I moved the wrong unit.
Okay. You should be able to undo that. It's on the toolbar at the top. You can undo that one.
Yeah, okay, let's undo this one. Oh, I didn't want to move I just wanted to move the HQ. There we go. Yeah, that's where I wanted to go with it. There we go. Now, just that it's a little closer to support. This is the weaker one first, I guess. I don't know. Maybe the stronger one first would have been better. But either way, I think we'll take them. There we go. Okay, that is done with that force. Now,
so
created this.
You've got a Panzer unit.
Yeah, we got.
See the Panzer unit.
Yeah.
So I was just going to say the top blue Panzer unit of your chain.
Right.
If you move it forward 1, you've made the pocket that on that.
Right.
On that.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So it's just worth doing that now because then it's.
Okay. Well, actually, we're going to move this. Okay. Yeah, this one comes up, and it'll. Well, that's a lot of effort to get that one. Yeah, that one, I guess. We will. Okay. Yep. Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, that one's.
Well, yeah. So now I would go back to what you were doing before because you've closed your pocket. Now all you've got to do is close that northern edge of this.
I want to take Minsk this turn. So.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm wondering here is, How
Who's
much?
getting the glory?
Well, yes, in essence. Okay. Not this unit. This unit. Yeah, this unit here. Okay, so they can get to here. Yeah, north.
What's the terrain like? Is there a river in there?
Do we
No,
do we know of a button to remove the counters quickly? Just so that we don't see them.
there is one. There is one. It's along the top there. Yeah. No.
I'll go. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, no, the looks like the river's on the far side, so we shouldn't have a
So then
river problem.
any
Right.
of those squares will do.
Yeah.
Hexes will do.
Yes. Okay. No, we want this, not that. Okay, so we're going to come through to here. And then to here. And then we're going to move you to here. I don't know why it wants to go around, but I guess it's about as easy as
Doesn't
going
like the
over there.
mountains, does it?
Yeah, I guess it doesn't. Okay. So that gets us from there. Now,
I think 2 might be enough. It's only a 5 defensive.
okay. Deliberate attack, 13. No, I don't think that is 13 to 5. It's not even 3 to 1. I don't like that. I don't know if I'm being too skittish, but not. But
Yep.
let's move this up here. And I know it's coming from different cores, but no.
Is you pressing shift?
No, push.
Pressing shift?
Yeah, I was pressing control, so that wasn't helpful. There we go.
Right, so that is week 1 objectives met there then, gamer.
Yeah.
Minsk
and I think on
Riga.
that point, we're going to end this episode. Minsk has fallen. We have secured it. It looks quite secure at the moment. We have created... Hey, thanks for following. Anybody else who hasn't already, please follow the channel and subscribe on YouTube. But we have pushed in this far so far. This is still just turn 1. I hope you'll stay with this series. We will be making them, for now, we're planning on making them live on Friday evenings, my time, later evenings on Exurgent's time. And, or of course, you can catch them later on YouTube at any time. Thanks, everyone, for coming this far. I'm finding this fascinating. Thank you, Exurgent, for your great advice and commentary and tutorialship. Thanks so much.
Thank you, everyone.
And so I think we're going to end this here for this episode. Thanks, everyone. And I think for today, because it's probably getting late for Exurgent, we're probably going to end the live stream as well at this point. Our plans are, like I say, to continue to do this on Fridays. I hope you found this interesting and will keep coming back. So thanks, everyone. Thanks so much, Van Bishop, Scooter, Gilmer, anybody else who is still here.
Thank you, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, we really